Is it gone? Did I ruin it?
But I unequipped that skill.
Yeah. They use a random one every time.
But I was holding block.
Uh-huh, and they're using a skill that breaks your block. You would know that because of the white mist.
Hmm. Triple rude. Oh, I was gonna say, recently I've picked up another story that I've been like not on pause, but like waiting for more content to come out for.
Okay.
Called Super Supportive, which is
Super supportive. All right.
it's a superhero story about like. So in like the universe, there's like chaos that will like delete and fight reality. And then there's like this alien faction that made sort of like a way to gift other planets magic. So there's a way for people to become like superheroes, not like superheroes, but like becomes like they have powers, and so humanity decides that they're going to be superheroes and all that. So it's like a superhero story.
Okay.
And I typically don't really like them. Superhero stories, other than like, the standard Marvel and stuff, because I guess the way I can put it is I don't like, Dad Metroids, get out of here. I don't like stories about superheroes where there are like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of superheroes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because it's more like it's less superhero and like each individual is like special in their own way. Where now you have like categories of people. It's like these people are really strong and tanky. These people can cast spells of some kinds, like they can project fire. I typically don't like the stories that have that kind of scale of superhero stuff.
When everyone's super, no one is.
Yeah, I know. I got a. What was his name? Everyone's super, no one is. That's true.
Yeah.
I just dislike the way these stories are structured, because there's like superheroes and they're supposed to be like super duper special, right?
Yeah.
But then there's like a whole society built around having them, because in this story they all got relegated to like a manufactured man-made island because no country wanted to put up with them and they were scared. So anyone who turns out to have powers gets like exiled to this island where all the supers live. Anyway, I'm getting away from my point. It's like this story, while I typically don't usually like them, this one is interesting enough to where it can distract me from my dislike of the general genre of the story.
Okay.
The characters are written pretty darn well.
Okay.
And I would recommend it. So anyone who does like superhero stories, I would recommend it. And anyone who typically doesn't. Also, if you like very interesting character arcs. And there's also a lot of good world building.
That takes care of that.
It's just a good story.
All right.
Shield cannons. I don't know how that works.
Slap a cannon on your shield. What do you got to do about it?
We
Tears of the Kingdom up in here.
Though.
We Tears of the Kingdom up in here.
But are they cannons that shoot shields?
Yes, but the shields also have cannons, and those cannons shoot shields.
I see. So it's like a gun. I see.
Yeah.
Like the Borderlands gun. But...
Mm-hmm.
I would think that they would shoot shields, and the shields are like flechette rounds or something, where they kind of like fly through the air and pierce stuff.
No, it's actually shield guns all the way down.
I see.
They just get progressively smaller. You have another side quest. Are you just gonna sail over to it?
Yeah.
Sure. You also have 2 gifts.
Do.
We do need to see those.
Let's catch our
Eventually.
breath.
Oh, here we go. Nice. Right on the roof.
Gotta fix the roof. It's got grass on it and stuff. What's that about?
What you doing up there? Oh, hello, you two. Roof has been leaking. I had to fix it. This thing all the time was fine. And yeah. But now she knows that someone's there. Oh. Oh, please be more careful. Sorry. You must have caught me. It really saved my life. Try to be safer, okay? Looks like you kept her from noticing at least. She's yeah, you're really never gonna tell her. I'll find the way that things are. It's nothing. Just keep on protecting her. Yeah, for sure. Yep. That's an interesting side story.
Yeah. All right.
Back over here.
Back over here.
All right.
Actually offshore
let's
this
go.
time.
Oh,
Wait,
were reading
did that say
Dungeon
98%? You missed. No, back to the point that you're at. Back to the point that
Oh, hold
you're
on.
at.
Hold on. 90% in the basin, and
You missed a crystal cluster,
98%.
and you missed a buried treasure.
All right.
I thought we were at 100% for this one, but
Fair.
there it is. On Fallon. How did we miss it on Fallon?
Okay, let's
See.
go.
Oh, were
Let's
you
catch our breath.
finished with Dungeon Crawler, Carl, or were you?
Yeah. Oh wow, you missed 2 things here.
Oh, this
yeah,
is 'cause I couldn't cross
read.
it yet.
I read the whole thing.
I couldn't remember if you'd
And
read
by-
the first whole book or if you had.
By the whole thing, I do mean the first book. I have finished it. Yes.
Were you complete when you brought it up last time, or were you?
Yeah.
Here we go.
We literally talked about the epilogue.
That's right.
Anyway.
Nice breeze.
Oh yeah, that's right. You couldn't do this last time. Now that I know what it is. Get that
Oh, it's
achievement.
this.
Oh. Did you already get the achievement for crossing this?
Oh. Where the chest is.
I think you do
How am I
have it.
supposed I didn't get the chest.
Anyway.
Over that one.
No, I know you didn't get the chest because you didn't have the thing that you now have.
Yeah. How am I supposed to?
Are you forgetting about an ability that you have?
I know. I'm aware of it.
Are you? Then do it.
I'm trying to get the achievement.
Oh.
For not doing it.
I thought you already got it.
I don't think so. 'Cause I didn't get the chest over there, so I figured I hadn't done this.
No, because you couldn't. I thought the achievement was just for crossing the logs. Let me look at what the actual achievement says. Anyway, you can probably just break the vines. That probably won't hurt.
Rage, mana, fire.
Let me see here. Achievements.
Yeah. Probably need to break the other ones too.
Wait.
Rage, mana, fire.
I don't actually see an achievement for this.
Well,
A rare find.
I don't actually see an achievement for doing that. Maybe
Interesting.
I'm just maybe it's being a little bit too coy. I'm reading them all again.
All right, now this is all 100%. This
Well, that's 100. Well, you have to. Yeah, you missed the buried treasure there, unfortunately. Oh.
Should be a good.
Let's see. That.
Yeah.
Spot to rest. Let's make tracks.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't see an achievement for doing that. Weird.
All right, let's go.
Oh well.
It should be a good
It
spot.
it
to
could
rest.
could it? I guess it could be an in-game only achievement if you pull up your in-game achievements. Journal. Would it be under? I think it would be under journal, right? And then records, maybe? Achievements, yeah. They could be in here. You would just scroll through to find the ones you've unlocked.
Adventure.
No, there isn't one.
What about the question mark one?
I mean, you don't know what they are. But I think these match up with the Steam achievements, so. Yeah. So, no, there isn't one.
Rude.
Rage. Mana. To me. Didn't expect this here.
Really?
Okay, let's go.
Alright. As we were.
As we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can actually progress the main quest. Actually, wait, you have 2 gifts. I just needed to interrupt it again.
Press.
Oh, you are spamming through these and not learning things about characters.
From Bratai, huh?
Yes.
You lived there until you're 8 years old. Having said that, something wrong? I was sentimental. Well, it depends on the region, of course. Bratai's climate is mild and the land is quite fertile, but above all, the scenery simply takes your breath away. Every season, you see a new side of its natural beauty. I was raised in a very rural area, and now I still dream of it. It makes sense you're in there after all. Brought back precious memories. This white lion crest, link to the past, sort of. But I'll treasure it.
Wonder if that's going to be important. Sometimes they hint at stuff.
I say there's something wrong. Oh, we'll find out sooner or later.
And you
Uh-huh.
skipped over the...
This is sometime no longer exists. Ever traced the place to see them pillaged or razed to the ground? The ones who did it were from Denmark.
Nope,
Denmark. To this day, there are Norman groups who make expeditions to Britain. How do you end up in the Sea Force then? You should hear from him directly, but what I can tell you is that Izzer's much stronger than he looks. Flawless attendant to the House of Bolts who supported us loyally for years. That's enough for you. For enough. It's enough for us. Okay? Yeah, sure. Thanks. Glad to hear you say so. Your training with Izzer has increased.
One more.
Fair about pearl earring. Me? I hope you like it. This makes me happier than you know. Naturally, the rest of our little youth brigade me as the older, responsible one, and for a long time now, even the adults in town treated me as just another grown-up. But the truth is, I just love cute. What, are adults not allowed to like cute stuff? Well, it's not though there are any rules against it. For my profession are generally expected to be a bit more subdued and mature. Though there was a time before, I was the de facto team mom when I surrounded myself floor to ceiling with cuteness. Yes, I suppose it was all the way up until my father moved his clinic back to Karnak. Nick was already in town. When I was young, my father got an offer from a big city, so he relocated his practice there for about a year. After my mother passed away, though, we returned to Karnak. That's the story. Huh? Around that time, when I started helping around the clinic, and well, as well as when my father started sneaking out his fishing trips every chance he could. It was also then that we changed our policy and began accepting any patient who walked through our doors. Fishing addiction is a real problem, huh? I'm not complaining, he's still a talented doctor. A lot of Baltus Island's residents owe their health to him. But while treating the Balta Islanders or members of the Sea Force is understandable, he's gotten in trouble with both the Sea Force and the mayor for treating criminals. Oh, I've been rambling. Sorry about that. Thank you very much for the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Now main quest.
Yeah?
Ah, you did it. You made it to the main quest.
Hang on to your hats.
Oh. I was going to mention this when I brought it up.
Hairs away from those
Yeah.
cliffs.
I'm not so
The
sure
super
about us
supportive
sailing
story.
through these narrow spaces.
Don't
It has a
sweat.
very interesting
Sandy
form
here's
of
gonna be
magic.
A-okay.
It's in addition to all the other ones that there are like in the story, but like there's a thing called word chains, which is interesting in the way that they work
Whoa.
because
Now
you have
here's
to
a roiling
do
patch
it's
of
like some
sea.
sort of symbolic thing where you like
Currents as
you know,
intense as
it's
it
like
is
rhymes
complex.
or
Louis
like
O'Connor will
phrases
be
or
swept up
poems or
in no
something,
time.
but
Keep
with
her
like
steady, shield
hand
brother.
gestures, and you can essentially kind of borrow from your future, sort of.
Spot on.
So you can make yourself calmer using one called Peace of Mind, but in the future, at some point, you have to pay it back by having like a bunch of anxiety. So like if you're in a fight or in a really stressful situation, you can cast it on yourself, and then you can be basically calmer for what you need to do, and eventually you have to pay back the debt.
We got through the worst of it.
And there's a
Ship
sort
was
of
lurching something awful. Is anyone feeling
meta
seasick?
thing where the more
coming
people
up quick.
use certain word chains, the more effective they are in general.
Okay.
It's a very, very, very intriguing
Oh yeah.
way
Time to
of
take it back.
using
I can elbow too.
magic, and I thought it was really interesting because there are like powers in other stories, like for karma or
Oh, protect us.
using random chance to affect current situations, but this one borrows from yourself, or in some cases you can kind of borrow from others or force things upon others using like different
Oh,
abilities.
protect
But
us.
the way you can affect things by borrowing from yourself in the future,
All right, guys.
very intriguing to me.
All right.
I thought it would be fun
Fire
to
the cannons.
make note of that.
Yeah.
If anyone else knows, or if you in particular know of any other interesting magic systems
Chew on this.
that are just kind of odd but
Keep us safe.
very intriguing,
Great.
please
We
let us
should do
know.
it.
Or at least I would like to know.
Oh,
Fire.
spot on.
They will regret underestimating us.
Just like pile on.
Seize the opportunity.
Ram the island.
Are we surrounded?
On the island.
You ain't hitting us.
Do you know of any interesting magic systems?
Any that aren't Sanderson? Let me take a
Not Sanderson, yeah.
look. Yeah, because I know you know those ones.
Right on the mark.
Let's see.
Let's pop it up. Now the battle truly begins.
Fear not thy fate. For her.
Now.
do to deserve
Don't
this?
forget, I'm still a Norman.
Have I told you why I don't like karma related systems or karma related magic?
No, you haven't. Tell me about it while I
Ah.
try to remember some magic systems.
Well, I tend to not like specifically like the active versions of karmic systems because the way that they kind of force people to do things. In my opinion, it takes away too much of free will. In some senses where, as an example, I don't know if this is from a particular story I've read, but some systems work in this way, where say some random powerful individual sees like a rising star, but they can't be seen like directly, like say killing them, because they're worried about their future growth. So instead, they'll like gift things to this person using karmic magic to kind of tie back to them, so that they kind of owe them a favor in the future at some point, and can kind of force them to pay them back at some point in the future.
Okay.
And I dislike it because it's not like they chose to accept this gift. It's like they're kind of forced to accept it, and then they're forced to pay back its worth at some point. And I really dislike how that makes like the characters feel like they don't have any way to control situations.
Okay.
But I'm okay with like using karmic magic to kind of see links between individuals or items and individuals. Can I please turn around?
Hold B. It's
Yeah,
an
I
easy way to
was
spin
doing
around.
that.
How do you like that?
Because in the vast majority, at least, karmic magic works in a way that you can kind of see connections between individuals, items, and you can kind of see how tied together people are. So you can kind of see
Let's rush 'em, Shield Sister.
people's allies and enemies, as well as what they're likely to do given their history and their karmic debt. And that form of karmic magic I personally find to be okay. I just dislike it when it's used actively to influence events. It takes away agency.
Okay.
It's sort of the same reason why I don't like active gods in stories. At least active gods that either one do a lot of things all the time or only really affect certain events in ways that are purposefully hidden to the reader. And by purposely hidden to the reader, as in like, it could be the author just didn't come up with it until the time, and then they kind of like do oh, but the god was doing this in the background, and this is how they saved the hero, or this is how they kind of screwed the hero over subtly. Because they're such a powerful entity that they could solve most things by just willing it to be so. And at that point, why are you telling a story about a hero suffering through what is essentially self-sacrificing ridiculous amounts of either times or losing loved ones when there's like a being that could snap their fingers and solve the issue of the devil being reborn or being brought into this plane. And it's just, when these characters are involved in stories, I personally see that there's like almost no point to story existing, because instead of like, say all the gods are dead and people are trying to like resurrect like a shard of a god, and you have to find some old relics and fight them off, and or the thing that they summoned in the end, which is a really cool story. But if you have like, oh, but the good gods work together and they all teamed up and beat the evil god or the demon lord or whatever, and they're still around, why can't they just do it again?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's It's kind of silly if you really think about it in that way, where you have these really powerful beings that could just solve the problem, but they don't. Remind me tomorrow to update. Come on. Wonderful.
Well, at some point, I wonder if it's like, I wonder if it becomes like somebody asking you to do like the most basic thing. Can you turn on this light switch for me? Like, how are you not capable of turning on the light switch for yourself? Why are you asking me to do this?
It's like, hey, random orphan kid who potentially has a future, can you please work very hard to build up your strength so you can fight a demon prince from coming to this plane, please?
Well, no, I mean, okay, yeah, that's what they got to do instead. No, I'm saying this is in effect asking said god to do these things is in effect asking you, Thorn, to turn on the light switch for me.
Looks like
Like,
this is it.
I have to go all the way over there and turn on a light switch? Can't you do that?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, that actually, that'd be kind of a cool thing to put in a setting, right? Where they're just like, I am too important for this.
yeah,
Do it
and
yourself.
like, there are many ways that in these stories they come up with reasons why the god or the powerful entity can't just do so.
But if you don't, what are you doing? Why have that? Yeah.
In that sense, my dislike for these powerful entities also stem to, say, there's like a demigod on the plane or something, and they want something from the main character because the main character is like the last descendant of some ancient bloodline. But they're trying to play nice and not be evil. But they really, really, really want what the main character has.
That's a win
And
for us.
in reality, all they could do is like collect some blood from the main character to do whatever they want with some ancient relics that they have that are tied to the bloodline. But they don't. Why? They clearly are exceedingly interested in what the main character's blood could unlock for them, but they don't do things like steal the blood or maybe hurt him slightly so that you can get a sample of it. And it just makes no sense to me. That powerful, like exceedingly powerful entities that are basically gods will not just do things that they want for arbitrary reasons. Did I get something to eat? I have a bento, I guess. It's just bothersome to have a story where it's like this character is really, really, really trying to do their own thing, but there's a bunch of like really powerful people like breathing down their neck at all
Looks to be a
times,
merchant ship.
and they could just get what they want at any point, and the main character just has to sit there in complete anxiety the entire time, hoping that they won't just be, you know, willful and do what they want. It really bothers me. Like the main character has zero agency because the powerful figure just is willing to wait quietly instead of just grabbing them, locking them in a cell, and forcing them to do what they want.
Rosa! Got eyes on the enemy yet? Off the bow! There's some kind of
You know, there's a story that takes this and slightly twists it to where it's realistic in
stronghold.
understanding.
That's
Called Path to Ascension.
it's an enemy sea
And
fortress.
in the story, the main
No
character has
two
a
ways about
very
it.
powerful ability
Double dam.
that's
Their
sort of
cannons
like
can reach us all the way over
detrimental
here.
until a certain point to when it turns to be very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Be
main
sure to mind those
leader
tornado
of the
currents.
entire like
Get caught in
empire
those,
that he
and we're as good as
lives
sitting
in
ducks.
has a like
Vessel approaching. It's bigger than any
not like a personal belief, but like something more fundamentals in that. He like literally can't break this like fact or this code about himself because it's part of his actual power base. And his thing is, I will not be a tyrant. So he literally just can't grab the main character's power and lock him in a cage to produce mana endlessly. And it makes sense because the fun, like, that king is going to protect him because he's in the Empire, and he can't take advantage for himself because he will not be a tyrant. And it's a very interesting juxtaposition to these other stories that just have characters who could just do what they want, but are willing to pretend to be nice for literally no reason. I do recommend that story too as well. A Path to Ascension.
All right.